Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Great Awakening Generator. I am Rose, and I have with me today live chat, of course, and I have Ginny Jones. She's back in the studio, so to speak of.
Hello.
How are you,
Hi.
Ginny? How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm very good. I'm had quite a busy day, so I'm a little bit tired tonight. It's funny
Mm.
how one day I feel absolutely alive, and the next day I can be still alive, but by the end of the day I'm feeling a bit tired. But yeah, I feel good.
Yeah, that's good to hear. It's very much like the way the energies are at the moment, right? Because I've been feeling like I'm generally not feeling tired. As I but I had a day like that. Yesterday was fine, and then suddenly there I was, like by 6 o'clock, I was ready to shower and go to bed and stay there until the morning. It was just kind of unusual.
Yeah,
And also, I was saying earlier when we were talking before going live, I just feel like emotional at the moment. Like I
yeah,
feel sad.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I wonder
Well,
what that's about.
well, I wonder what it was about, but I feel like on some level we know that certain things in our lives are closing,
Yeah.
certain aspects, certain relationships. Like, one of the things was like my neighbor across the way here. I suddenly found out they were moving house on Saturday,
Oh, right.
and then sort of put me on that trajectory of I'm feeling sad because I won't see these people anymore. They won't be.
Mm,
They've been such a good energy to be around,
yeah,
and they made us have. We weren't close or anything, but just them being there, their sounds, their lives, their comings and goings made me feel like I was very much at home. And then they've
yeah,
gone with their homeliness. They're very intuitive people on their, in
yeah.
their own way. And I think that's what made me really sad. So
Like
it's
like
kind of
like-minded people.
that's right. And it kind of made me
Yeah.
feel that sadness for days. And and then I don't know, but we've just had the eclipse and we've had the full moon, and all of these things are
Right.
affecting us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And funny, it's you say about the lunar eclipse. I went out the other night. I didn't actually see the eclipse because I think that was probably in the middle of the night. But I went out before I went to bed and I stood under the moon, and my goodness, could I feel the energy?
Hmm.
Honestly, I could feel it was like the light codes that were hitting the moon from the sun. It was so bright, I could actually feel it on my skin.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
these light codes coming in. It was
Yeah.
amazing, really.
Really amazing. And you're right, because the moon had such an energy. So I've got a picture of the moon setting one morning, and it must have been about 6 o'clock, but it was really a ball of light, and dare I say fire, setting in the
Mm.
western sky in the morning. And I thought, wow, okay, that's what the moon's looking like. And
Wow, yeah.
on the night of the eclipse, whilst the eclipse was happening, I was doing a recording because I just felt guided to do that. And a friend of mine had said, hey, when we talked the day before, she said, Rose, it might be a good thing to do something for yourself on the eclipse, like, just have a ceremony for yourself and stuff like that. And I thought, okay, that's true. It could be so. But on that day, as I was progressing through the day, I just didn't feel inclined to do that ceremony for myself, which I thought, okay, all right, that's interesting. So I did it whilst I started doing my recording, and we went into the eclipse time. And so the eclipse started at about 7:24 p.m. on Monday night here in Auckland. Well, wherever you are, people would have found where that was happening. And then it was at its highest point at 8:01 p.m.
Was it?
Um,
Okay. Oh,
yeah, but you see, uh, and maybe I don't understand the astrology and the geography and all of that about it. Nothing was happening to the moon as such, because if it's the lunar eclipse, I guess anybody who was experiencing sunshine would realize that the moon is coming into the shadow of the sun. So this is why,
yeah.
whilst it was eclipse time, I think so, and I'm saying it from my ignorant perspective. This is why, whilst it was eclipse time, we weren't seeing anything happening because it was happening to those people that were experiencing sunshine. Do you think I'm right?
Uh, I'm not sure. I mean, I've seen a lunar eclipse
Me too.
before, and it
Yeah,
is so subtle that you can see a shadow coming over the moon, and then
that's
when it's
right.
over fully, there's a rim around the outside.
Yeah.
So was it not like that? Because I actually missed it.
It was not like that, which is kind of
Wow.
interesting. It was not like that. And I'm
Very.
just, and whilst we're talking, I'm just going to bring it up, right? What does it
Yeah.
what does it mean when a lunar eclipse? What does that mean? Because what is it? Hmm. What happens during a lunar eclipse? And I'm reading from Google, yeah, everybody. Lunar eclipses occur at the full moon phase, when Earth is positioned precisely between the moon and the sun. Earth's shadow falls upon the surface of the moon, dimming it
Yeah.
and sometimes turning the lunar surface a striking red over the course of a few hours. I did not see that.
Wow.
So
Wow.
this is why I was wondering what? Even if it's a
Wow. Yeah.
partial, even if it's
Yeah.
a partial lunar eclipse, you should be able to see, but it didn't happen.
Definitely.
Not that
That's
not from my
strange.
vision. Strange.
Wow, that is strange. I mean, I didn't actually watch it, so I can't comment on it. But, I know that in the past you can actually see the shadow coming over.
That's
Yeah.
right. Exactly. And I've
Yeah.
seen it. I've seen it in the past many times. And I
Yeah.
thought, oh, did I understand what it means when a lunar eclipse is happening? Nothing was happening at the time.
Wow.
The moon was just full of light, so bright that you could see all those patterns on the moon, like all the maps on the moon. That's how
Yeah.
close
Yeah.
did you see that?
Yeah.
When
Well,
you look
I
at the
saw
moon?
it when I went out at night. Yeah. And it was
Yeah.
so bright. Honestly,
Yeah.
it almost looked like kind of dull daylight here,
That's
you know?
right. That's right. And you know
Yeah.
what? At the moment, and if you like, because I've experienced now, we've had some clear skies for the last few nights, maybe not tonight, but I, firstly, for me, what's happening is I find that the moon is already rising, like at 8 p.m., it's already risen, like on the horizon in the eastern sky. The only time it is setting is about 6:30 in the morning, right? Even 7 a.m., because
Wow.
7 a.m. at the moment is dark. But it's
Yeah.
taking so
That's a long
long
time.
to cross
Yeah.
over from east to west.
That is a
That's
long time.
It's a long time because
Yeah.
that's like a 12-hour crossover. And I've never known it to take that long. I don't ever think it takes that long. So,
It's 24 hours to go right the way around, isn't it?
that's right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so 12 hours to go across from the east to west is kind of makes sense, but it's still it's so bright that even at 6 o'clock in the morning, it feels like, or 5 o'clock in the morning, it actually feels like we are having an afternoon. It's afternoon
Yeah.
time.
Strange,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, so much to ponder. So much.
Yeah, definitely. And then we're building up for the solar eclipse, which apparently will be seen from North America. I
Yeah.
don't know whether I don't suppose we'll see it here. But no, actually here, apparently it is on the 9th at 5 a.m. something.
Okay. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
invited to
solar
an
eclipse.
event on about that solar eclipse. So it's going to be in the wee hours of the morning, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, that when it actually happens. Oh,
Okay.
it's done it again. Um, yeah, when it actually happens, it'll be 5 something here in the morning because
Okay.
Sasha Stone,
Mm-hmm.
have you heard of him?
I have, yes.
Yeah, he's got getting together with I think it's the leader of the Hopi tribe and some the
Oh,
Mexican
awesome.
shamans and some other shamans. They're all getting together and they're all going to be chanting and stuff like that as
Good.
the solar eclipse happens,
Yeah.
because this one hasn't happened for 5,000 years.
Yeah.
It's a majorly powerful one, and um, the word out is for us light workers, anyone listening who's a light worker, the word out is that we have to focus on connecting to the grand central sun and the God source and all of creation and all
Yeah.
of that energy. Whereas, like I remember seeing a solar eclipse in the UK. We were all a lot younger then. But we bought, we went round to somebody's house and had a barbecue and celebrated with booze and all that. I mean, that's totally the wrong thing to do, really.
But still, it was a
So this,
celebration, right? It was a celebration.
well, it was a celebration, yeah,
Yeah.
but English drinking culture back then. Um, so this one, it's really important that we keep a real high vibe. Don't do the normal 3D stuff. actually try and raise up and connect to the grand central sun, light codes, and allow that energy to actually come into us
Yes.
while that's happening.
Good, good. It's
Yeah.
good to know that because this time I've been invited to a meditation group
Awesome.
on that Monday night, because I think it's Monday the 8th, right? So
Yes.
it's happening, the meditation group is happening on Monday, obviously, because if it's happening at 4 a.m. or 5
Yeah.
a.m. here,
Yeah.
most people will not be doing it at that time, but at least we have the energy of the eclipse and we chant it in. They will probably be chanting in that one too.
Absolutely.
It's an interesting one, the energy, or that the eclipse is that, you know, the eclipse energy is it's so sometimes can be so agitating. And this
Mm.
is why it's important for us to ground ourselves and do all of those things,
Yeah.
but also participate in it. Like I was saying earlier, my friend had said to me that suggested I do something for myself, like do some ceremony on my
Mm.
own for myself, do some self-love for me. And then I didn't do it on Monday night, but for whatever reason, last night was the right night to do it, and I did it. I just felt
Yeah.
guided. I was tired. I felt guided to, first, I was guided to just have a shower and go to bed. And then I kept hearing, oh, well, but you can do your ceremony. I didn't do it as a ceremony for the eclipse or for the full moon, but
Yeah.
it just felt the right thing. And because I've been feeling sad through this time, it was good to sit down and do some cards and light the candles and just sort of deal with my sadness. I had
Yeah.
to align my chakras, and so I did that.
Yeah.
And so I think whatever works, because I last night it was quite bright as well, right? It was not, it's quite a bright moon and it's not as close to the earth
Very.
as usual. Isn't
Yeah.
that
That's right.
interesting?
Well, yeah, I mean, it just goes to show how our sun has changed because was it about 4 days ago? There was massive solar flares coming off the sun that were heading towards the earth as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
So, we're getting a lot of energy at the moment coming in from all aspects. And these planetary alignments all mean something, because they haven't
Yep.
happened for 5,000 years or whatever it is. And it's almost like a pivotal point in history. I really feel that within me, that
It is.
something is going down right now. Yeah.
Definitely. I agree with you because when I'm not feeling sad, I feel this like, oh my gosh, something exciting's happening. Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
like, I'm so excited to see it. I just want it's gonna unfold and I'm like so excited about it and it's gonna be amazing. And
Yeah.
for a long time now, we've heard this stuff. We've heard amazing things are gonna happen or whatever. And you wonder,
Yeah.
how long, man? Why do we keep hearing this and nothing showing up? Or something show up and then you're not so sure that it's where it comes from. Is it coming from that platform or what?
Yeah.
But it's just about, it can be tedious, the waiting. It feels like we're waiting. But
Yeah. Well, I
I
think
think,
sometimes, yeah,
go
sorry.
on,
Yeah,
go
go
on,
on.
go on, go on. No, you go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think, sometimes when we're not seeing something in the physical here, there's so much more going on in the ethereal realms.
Yeah.
And I'm the same as you. I've been getting, certainly over the last couple of days, a real rush of excitement every so often rushes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yesterday, I was getting it a lot. And even today, I've been dancing around and singing like I'm really happy about something. I don't even know what it is yet.
But that's it, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that's the key? It's like saying, well, you know how they say, um, I'm thinking about the teachings of Abraham Hicks here, like they do that 5-step process and you ask and you receive, right? But
yeah,
between asking and receiving, then you ask and wait, really. You ask, you wait, but in
yeah,
waiting, you just your life, you create the vibration of a joyous energy. And
yeah,
you don't have to have a reason to dance. Just dance because it's the thing you can do,
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I will say that when I do dance here, our male staffy gets so excited, he's jumping all over me. So I find it very difficult to dance.
Oh, you want to dance with you, clearly. Clearly. Our pets
Yeah,
are so
honestly.
yeah, pets are so high energy. And it just reminds me, like today, I was saying my friend came from England to New Zealand and then she had a day with me. And she brought me, because it was my birthday on Saturday, she brought me some cake. But she also
Lovely.
brought these little bottles of bubbles.
Oh, how cute.
He said, I am doing this. I'm earning a reputation that anytime there's a celebration to be had, I will be blowing bubbles. And we were blowing, sitting there and blowing bubbles and having our cake and tea. And I was like,
That's awesome.
it's just
Oh,
like,
that's awesome.
I know. And I just think like, and then she said, and I've decided when I'm no longer that I will be having bubbles at not my funeral, but my funeral. It's going to be a funeral. It's not going to be a
I
funeral. It's
like
going to be a
that.
funeral. I really love it. And I think, oh my gosh, it's been staring me in the face. Why didn't I say that before? Why didn't I realize
Yeah, I
that?
think that's awesome.
Absolutely. Funeral, not a funeral,
Yeah,
a funeral. Oh, I hope she doesn't
funeral.
mind I've
Yeah,
stolen the thing, but anyway, she wouldn't mind. But my friend, I said my fairy, because my friend is a fairy.
yeah,
And she's got the energy of fairy, and I think she's been a fairy in other and fairy-like nature comes out a lot in this
yeah,
lifetime. And so we went
yeah.
down to
Oh,
where CJ, our cat, is resting because we put down some painted some rocks, and we've got plants and things like that. And I put his name, whatever, down there, right? And Alice had a very good relationship with CJ. And
oh.
so it was heartbroken when we had to make the decision for CJ to leave physically. Anyway, so we went down there and she brought bubbles for CJ too.
Ah, that's so cool.
Just blowing bubbles
She's
there.
lovely. She sounds lovely.
She is. And it's like,
Yeah,
oh my gosh, like where do you come up with these ideas, lady? I mean, like, awesome, right? It's so magical to
very
be,
awesome.
yeah, it's such a magical thing to do. It's like bring the
Yeah,
magic, you know?
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and it makes you realize we've actually lost the sense of fun because, I mean, as an adult, do you blow bubbles?
No, you don't, do you? No, not
And what's wrong
normally.
with us adults doing it? Nothing at all.
But that's right. Nothing wrong with it at all. In fact, you reminded me. It would be good to get one of those big bubble blowers. That you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then
Yeah.
you have it's so and the colors were obviously amazing, but
Mm.
it was all around CJ's little resting place, and there's like flowers there, and the petunias are doing really well there, and
Oh,
the African
lovely.
violets lost their flowers, like the flowers aged, and then now they got new buds, and it's like I didn't know African
Oh,
violets did that.
oh, I
Um,
don't know much about them. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's lovely.
yeah. So it's
That's
really good
lovely.
to have that. And when you're talking about fun, you like remind me of this, and I think it's a good thing to share, right? To say, hey, this is
It is. It is. You're
it is.
absolutely right. As adults, um, unless we are in that mood naturally, we actually take life, especially if there's stuff going on, way too seriously. And it's time to bring that childlike awe and fun back, into our lives and actually have a good laugh, you
That's
know,
right. Yeah.
um, and dance around your living room and sing and whatever.
Yeah. I woke up one morning last week and I said a weird word and I started to laugh. That was the first thing I did. I was like, what? And I was like, I just bowled over laughing with this word. And I thought, I can't remember what it was now, but I was like, and then I thought, hey, that's absolutely okay because that's how I want to wake up,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like, oh, say a silly word and then laugh or something like that. And I didn't have to do it deliberately. It happened
No,
naturally. And that's the thing, you know?
yeah.
Hmm.
That's
So,
very cool. I often wake up and, when I get up, I'll start singing because I know that when I sing, the dogs get all excited. So we're all get, woo,
yeah,
all
yeah,
the
absolutely awesome.
energy. Yeah.
So, Jenny, tell us,
Yeah.
the big elephant in the room, like I was saying, was um your CE5 because you were on a CE5 event or expedition,
Yes.
whatever you call it, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I just kind of
Yes.
left you in peace because I thought, oh, you've been away from home, you might have to come home. When you come back, you have all that stuff that you need to deal with, like, mail that needs your attention and all of that. And of course, your family. So I
Yeah.
left you alone and I thought, all right, let's try this week. And you so kindly agreed to come and have live chat with me. How was your CE5 expedition?
It was very good. It was different than last time. I mean,
Mm.
This time it was a wonderful inner journey. You know, in the afternoon we always have workshops. And this time we did a lot of inner journeying work, which was fantastic.
Okay.
We did OBE stuff, we did breath work, light codes, light language. I took everyone through a third eye activation, lots of meditation. Yeah, it was a real, I really enjoyed the inner journey aspect of
Okay.
it, really,
Okay.
a lot. When it comes to the contact, I felt personally that it was very subtle this time. And I know that ET and our nature spirit friends, they don't want to frighten anyone. And we had a few new people that hadn't even had contact before on the group. So it was very, very subtle, in my experience anyway. Yeah, so it was a little bit different. It was still cool, still very, very good. And lovely people. It's just nice to all come together with like-minded people, which was wonderful. And I always take sets of cards and things, and I put them on the coffee table in the big room, and so people can come along and have a play. And so we did that, and we had a chef there this time that was doing all the food, so that was wonderful as well, doing all these beautiful vegetarian dishes. Wonderful. Yeah, so it was very, very good, but very subtle.
Yeah.
In fact, we came back, and of course I've got straight back into doing my Tuesday nights here. And the first night back here, well, we had so much activity, like major activity. So that was absolutely wonderful. We saw craft going over, several flash bulbs all around us. Yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. So yeah, I absolutely love doing CE5. If anyone listening wants to get a group together, if I can, I will come and facilitate a CE5. There will be a fee for everybody because I have to cover my costs, of course. But yeah, I'm quite happy to do that if anyone wants to get a group together, especially in the Bay of Plenty area here where I live. Would be awesome. But even if someone's out of the area, I might be able to wangle one night to come out, and it'll have to be a weekend then, though, because then John's home. Yeah, so because it's time that this contact happens, and this contact is with very loving beings. They don't want to frighten anyone, so they will hang back if anyone has got any fear running through them or any anxiety. They won't step forward. So I know a lot of people hear about ET, that like all the films that have been put out there about aliens coming to take humans and all that. The ones that I connect with are not like that at all, and the ones that the CE5 group connect with, not like that at all. They are loving, higher dimensional beings, and their craft, it's not solid. Like me and my daughter saw one day, and it's literally like a massive energy ball that's flying through the sky.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're not solid. We've seen some that have, not this time on the CE5, but in the past, that are slowly materializing. And what you see first is a load of scintillating lights in sort of, they're not near the group, so they're away from the group, and they start to form in the shape of a craft. And you can see it slowly building up. And I've never seen one fully materialize, but you can see the lights get a lot denser. So you can see it's a little bit more solid, but you can still see through it. So this time it was very subtle, energy. Yeah, this time, which was great. And the inner work was fantastic.
So I think the inner work is totally apt, right? Because it just keeps coming back to this. Everybody I talk to keeps coming back to, oh, I'm just working on this, I'm working on that. I was in a meeting yesterday, and I joined one of Steve Nobel's meetings, like, he does for businesses, right? And
Yeah,
I met a couple of people there, and they were talking about shadow work. And until yesterday, I didn't realize that shadow work is a thing. Is a
it
thing
is.
you can do. You can do meditations for shadow work. You can,
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, okay, because of the way they were
yeah,
speaking about it. And I thought, that was interesting.
yeah,
And then I started to think about myself and think about, well, hey, because I believe I've been doing shadow work without actually knowing it or consciously
yeah,
saying it, right? We all have been doing it. 2023, the year of shadow work, the year
yeah,
of the shadow, let's call it that. And
yeah.
but I was quite fascinated that we have these things going on, and I feel like it's coming back to inner work. It just like this is what we
It is.
need to do. As much as we can do for others, but we have to do for ourselves. Big, big theme, right?
Very, very important. In fact, I make sure that I do that as I'm going along working and doing things for others. I will regularly go and have a healing with someone,
Yeah,
go and have a massage, but mainly healings.
yeah,
Um, do perhaps join a workshop and a meditation group. I do healings on myself, clearing out, consciously clearing out something when it pops up. So
yeah,
for anyone listening, if you get like a thought come in from the past, maybe something that how you've behaved and it wasn't very good or whatever, because we've all done it, as we've been growing up, even in teenage years, we might have treated someone else badly or whatever. And if those thoughts come up, that is your shadow work coming up to be released.
yeah.
So it's about it consciously acknowledging it, not ignoring it, because it comes out up as a little tiny little thought that might float in.
Mm.
And it's actually about I'm going to acknowledge that, and I'm going to sit with it a minute, and I'm going to look into my own behavior back then. And then I'm going to tune into the person's soul or your own soul. So you forgive the person, you
Mm.
forgive yourself for your own behavior. And then what you do is you literally see it leaving your body like a gray mist or a
Yeah,
gray blob of energy lifting up and out of your physical body.
yeah,
So that's one way to do shadow work. And it's really important that we do that, because I believe that we are here at this time, as we've come into the age of Aquarius, that we are here to absolutely get rid of all that shadow work. And it's not just our own, but the more we work on our own,
yeah.
the more we're actually helping to clear the collective.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah, but the whole collective is actually, all the shadow is coming up. We can see it all around the world.
that's right.
Be released at this time, here and now. Get rid of it all, and then
Mm.
this is how we then step up into the age of Aquarius, the higher consciousness, the fifth dimensional space.
Yeah,
Once we start clearing all that out of our systems. So it's very important for us all. And I think you're right. I don't consciously think, oh, I'm doing shadow work. I just, if something comes in, I'll clear it. Um, Forgiveness, whatever I need to do,
yeah,
gratitude, forgiveness, all those things to clear it. But I don't consciously think, oh, that's shadow work. But now we're talking about it. Actually, that is.
yes,
Um,
yes.
so we're all doing it, even without knowing it. But
That's
for
right.
anyone listening, consciously being aware of it is probably better.
Yeah, yeah. Because you
Yeah,
can choose those things that you know that you've got hiccups about, and then go
yeah,
look for something that can help, like a
yeah,
meditation or something like that, and then do it like that.
absolutely.
Do a
Yeah,
meditation. And I think that things are clearing faster. It's not
very
like we
much
have to
so.
take months and whatever to clear something. I just find
Yeah,
that sometimes it's happening within hours of doing the
it is.
work.
It's instant. Yeah,
It's instant. And so, and that's what we need to remember, that, it's there for us. And
yeah.
there's a lot out there. And someone said to me in this meeting yesterday, oh, there's a lot of meditations about shadow work. And, I didn't know that. Like, but Steve Nobel does these meditations. He doesn't call them shadow work. He calls them transmissions or something, like in clearing something, clearing karmic um something, whatever word he uses, right? So if we'd been doing that, we've actually been doing the work. It's just now when you consciously think, oh, I've got this problem. Like, for example, I've got this, maybe I have a problem with being loved, or like accepting love. Well, where does it come from? You know,
Yeah.
find something that will work, that will clear that shadow. Because I understood from what they were saying that shadow work comes up in manifestation in the physical body or the mind, but it's showing the tears in the other bodies you have, or the blocks you have in the other bodies. And I was like, wow, I've never understood it like that. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, when you think about anything that's come out physically, always starts in the emotional body. So the emotional thing around that is normally partly to do with shadow
Yes,
stuff.
definitely.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even, as we're living, we're all human. So, if you do something because it's an immediate reaction, forgive yourself afterwards, because it's not worth holding on to it. And we're at that stage now where being aware of our own reactions and our own thoughts all the time, this is how we're going to raise our frequency. I was talking with a friend yesterday about it, and it's literally about just being aware and taking a breath before you react to something that might be happening in your outer world here.
Yeah.
And the more
Definitely.
we train ourselves to do that, because we've been programmed to react,
Yeah.
right from young. So the more we train ourselves not to do that, me and my friend was saying that, if we can carry on doing that, we'll end up like monks that are so zen that, everything could be collapsing around us. We're not going to let it affect us at all.
Yes. Yes. And everything is collapsing at the moment. You think about some of the stuff that's coming out, right? But we are so in a zen position because and wherever we are right now, and I mean, I know that somebody might be in a war-torn zone and they might think, how do you mean I'm supposed to be here? But unfortunately, if we are in places we're not supposed to be in, we will be moved from there. We will have the compulsion to leave those places. But unfortunately, it's the thing. If you are in a place and it's not great, it's probably you need to move from there, or you need to leave it. Or if you can't leave it, then that's probably where you're meant to be. I mean, gosh, I got myself into a bind there, but
No, look, when you think about, some of the stories that came out from World War I, World War II, with all the stuff, because it was worldwide. So, especially with all the cities in Europe that were being bombed and all sorts of other stuff going on.
Yeah.
There's some absolutely amazing miracle stories that have come out from there. So those people were meant to be there. Like rescuing children out of Germany, and risking your own life to do it, and stuff like that, and being able to get so many out, like one woman did. I can't remember. And she, in her cart, she had to go through checkpoints and brought all these children out. And many other things, like people that were in the underground. I mean, how scary it must have been.
Exactly.
But they were there on a soul mission.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
So I know we talked about this has led us to talk about the inward, the workshops going inward at the CE5 event. Excuse me. And you talked about the contact being subtle.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that part, and I'm thinking, I guess, because I was meant to go to this with all of you, and I didn't go in the end for various reasons. But there was a thought that occurred to me before I said, no, I'm not going. There was a thought that occurred to me, and I was thinking, I wonder if I'm actually ready for contact. Now, that was a bit strange because I've already had contact. I've had contact with the Arcturians. I've seen stuff in the sky and all of that. And I mean, the most recent one that I saw was this thing that looked like a fireball coming out of Rigel. And I think I told you about that, right? when there was
Yeah.
something that came out and it looked like it was a fireball coming out. So that was the most recent thing, and I haven't had anything since. That was probably about maybe 5 weeks ago. But I don't know why, but it made me think, am I ready to have contact to that level? And then I don't know, it occurred to me, but then I thought, you know what? That's okay. Because maybe I am emotionally not ready for that, to be consciously seeking something out like that. Although I don't know what that's all about, but you know what I mean? How do we know? Right.
Well, maybe there's a little bit of fear behind actually full on. Well, not we haven't actually had a. I've only seen an ET once, and that was with these eyes,
Yeah.
and that so that was once, and he was solid, but it was like for about 10 seconds,
Yeah.
but I wasn't scared. So I see with my inner sight. So they're actually there, but they're cloaked.
Yeah.
They've never actually fully materialized into this realm when we've been on a CE5.
Okay.
But I see them with my third eye, so that's why I can draw them.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
see what
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. Hmm.
But maybe there's a slight little bit of fear there because
Yeah.
of what may appear.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. Yes. And that's what I thought too. I thought, you might be a little bit fearful, Rose, that you haven't actually been aware of, and you're not quite ready to do that because it's fear coming through. I mean, I've had one year in the last maybe 6 weeks that's been by the window and not showing completion, but it's an Arcturian, and it's basically showing it to me like, do you know how you do beam me up, Mr. Scotty? Like, how you see that beaming up, it goes in
Yeah.
like that, and it comes out
Yeah.
like wherever you turn up, not whole completely, but it sort of brings you back up, right?
Yeah.
The lights go through or whatever. And that's how I've seen this one. And I just thought, so what I thought about today was, I think I'm actually going to start thinking about how I want my meeting to go. Do
Yeah.
you know do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to start thinking about, okay, how do I want it to go? Because I
Yeah.
really want to see a complete one, and I really want to see a complete uh being, and I want us to, and I've seen my being in my mind's eye. I know exactly what it looks like. It's very kind, and it's very gentle, and it's very loving, and it's right there, like wanting, always putting what I would call his hands out to me and holding my hands in its hands. And so
So
that
if you're
doesn't feel
seeing with
fearful.
your third eye,
Yeah,
that's you're actually seeing.
I
You're
am.
seeing
Yeah.
and you're having contact. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
So yeah.
I do believe that I've had contact already. I just
Yes,
kind of,
definitely.
like, I was thinking, well, that would be consciously going out there to do that, and so on. And so, I mean, I've seen a lot in the last few years. I've seen a lot, and I've had a lot of different things happening in the sky, and you're just noticing it, and just, I mean, we won't see it if we don't, if they won't show themselves if we aren't ready.
Absolutely, they won't. What they do is they actually read your energy signature. This is
Yeah.
what we've sussed out, and so they can read if anyone's fearful, anyone's anxiety, you've got anxiety running, or anything else going on when it comes to the contact, and they don't want to frighten us, so they won't come near if they are sensing that from the group of people. They
Yeah.
will hang back, and they'll do a light show in the sky, and then they might hang back fairly, quite a fair way away, and we might see scintillating lights or something like that away from the circle, because then nobody in the circle gets frightened.
Yeah.
When everyone in the circle is all on the same level, we're all eager for contact, and all that stuff, and nobody's running any fear programs or anything, then often they will actually come right up close. Like some people who see will see beings stood behind everybody. Some people are touched. Like one time I heard there was somebody in between me and this American guy speaking what sounded like light language.
Wow.
So we knew there was someone right there. Couldn't see them, but we knew they were there because we could hear them. And one time we had a connection with Bigfoot, and we actually stood.
Oh.
Some people couldn't do this. when we'd gone off in the break in our little groups. So in the little group, there's because you never go off on your own because it's pitch black. So there's either 2 or 3 people in the group, and normally there's like a facilitator like me or one of the other guys, and they will take 2 newbies, and you stand at the edge of the bush, and you've got to stand there with open arms, a real open heart, no fear running, and you're in the pitch black, and you're not allowed to put a torch on or anything like that. So, if there's happens to be a possum there making a sort of noise, you just gotta go away, possum, or whatever else. And then we all had this massive 2-footed crunching going on just in the bush right in front, and you still got to stand there with an open heart going, okay, yes, we're ready to connect, and all that, with all this which you can hear with your physical ears going on. And each group had that experience because we go off groups. So, I mean, we feel that was Bigfoot. Of course, they're multidimensional beings, but he must have come in, or several of them must have come in fairly solid, because they were actually breaking the branches in the bush.
Wow. So, yeah, exactly.
You could hear. So you've got to have a bit of nerve, really, to just stand there with your arms like that, going, okay, I'm ready for contact.
Yeah, it's okay. Whatever's happening, I'm gonna be okay with it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So it looks like you had a good time. It was a different kind. It was a different kind of contact this time, but it was nonetheless, it was contact anyway, because they were there, even though they were subtle.
Absolutely they were. Yeah, we could all feel them there. Yeah, but they're just hanging back. But the inner work, that was like, obviously we all needed to do the inner work.
Yeah.
So that's why we all turned up. Yeah,
I agree. I feel like right now we're getting what we need, not what we want. And in getting what we need, we are going to get what we want, and we are still coming to that. What we get the desires of a heart, but we have to cross over certain things. And I also find that the crossing over is not challenging. It's easy. They're almost like, okay, here's a bridge. We're holding that bridge up. It looks treacherous in the water, but cross over. And I'm talking about our guides here, whoever they are, whether they are dragons, whether they are, ETs, whatever. And they're saying, well, this is it. We're here now. We know that it's been tough, and we know that it's been challenging. But now you've come through it. You've made it through 2023. And I'm just saying 2023. I'm not saying there's anything special about it. We've made it through the dark age. And now it's time to know that we are here. You have made it. You fought the good fight. And now we're saying, hold the hand, put your hand in my hand, and we'll walk you through this, because everything else you need to do, we're going to make sure it goes easy. That's what I feel.
Yeah. I think I feel that the more that we can have that attitude and keep in a really high vibe, no matter what's actually going on around us, that's exactly what's going to happen. Because you can see the split. You can see the people that are working on themselves and trying to keep that high vibe, and then the people that are still stuck in the deep 3D more negative space. And you need those 2 polarities as we move through. And a lot of the people that are in that space will wake up and move up into the fifth dimensional space, put it that way. But you can see the split that's slowly happening.
You can
in society.
Yeah, you can see it. I just feel like you can. And I mean, I was looking at something this week, and one of the things that I said right out, for example, I said, my career in the corporate world ended in 2020. And that really was a reality check for me, because I was like, Rose, do you realize what you've just said?
Yeah.
Because I keep trying to go back in there, and my career ended, and I felt part of my feeling sad was because I'm mourning the life that I had envisioned. I'm mourning the loss, the end of a dream, right?
Yeah.
And so but looking around me, I see other people, they're doing so well. They're in the third dimension and they're doing extremely well. And they just, they're able to afford their life. They're able to uh, go on business trips. They're able to go on like holidays and things like that. And that's great. It's great that people can actually do that because we've lots of people have had a tough time the last 3 years, right?
Yeah, totally.
But I
Yeah.
think, wow, I think what's happening here, But they came to do their thing. We've come to do our thing. And just
Right.
because that's happening in their world at the moment doesn't mean they're not going to have a moment like I just had this week. There'll come a
That's
time when the
right.
time is right for them.
Yeah.
If the soul contract is that you'll awaken and you'll do your ascension process at this time and you'll ascend into the fifth dimension. And so
Yeah.
there's so much of that happening. And also, I mean, go into the supermarket and you can see the difference. You can see
Yeah.
that people are just on a different trajectory. Quite often,
Yeah.
there's a lot of intense thinking going on there because people are counting how many potatoes. I saw a lady do this, counting how many potatoes she should take into her brown bag because she's
No.
thinking, how will I spend? How am I going to spend this money? And you think, wow, this
Yeah.
is where life where it's at, and
Yeah.
and we have to go through all of these things because
Yeah.
it's going to teach us, okay, so what can I do about my potatoes that I don't have to, maybe I should plant my potatoes rather than having to buy it from the supermarket veggie corner or whatever, right?
Yeah.
um but only with this intensity can we transition into that breaking down, building up of new systems, do you know,
Yeah.
because that's what it's about.
It is about that, and the old systems do have to break down, and it's probably going to be um very different for all of us once these systems finally break down,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but we've still got to try and keep this real high vibe if we can, to move through it and keep the vibration of the collective up,
That's
so we
right.
all move through it.
Yeah,
uh,
and
yeah.
yeah. No, I agree with you there. We do have to keep the vibration high, but
Yeah.
also be the other thing is to be intuitive to yourself and how you're feeling and what is happening.
Absolutely.
And just
Absolutely.
if you're having a blue day one day, have the blue day. Don't
That's
don't
okay.
don't discount it. Just say, yeah, okay, I'm
Yeah.
having a blue day, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm
Yeah.
gonna just
Yeah.
say today's a blue day, or I'm
Yeah.
tired today, and I'm just gonna go with that. You know,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely. I think that's really important, especially, I mean, I even found, I think it was one day last week, I thought, oh my God, I actually don't feel like doing anything today. And you know what? I
hmm,
gave myself permission to not do anything, which is
everybody
very
I
highly
spoke to,
unlikely, 'cause normally I push through. Yeah.
yeah, everybody
Yeah.
I spoke to this week told me that.
Yeah.
I had a day like that too last week when I thought, oh, actually, I don't feel like I want to do anything. And okay,
Yeah.
so let's not do anything. Let's just do other stuff, like play with the dog,
Yeah.
um, and do whatever,
Yeah.
that's necessary. But to like have a good time, have fun,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
that's what it is, you know,
Yeah.
and be okay about it. Be okay about it
Yeah. That's
because
it.
when you're
Don't feel
okay,
guilty.
yeah, when you're
Yeah.
okay about it, it's saying, well, I'm actually desensitizing myself from that
Yeah.
thing of being programmed, being in
That's
that
right.
space, and I have to do it that time. I have to do it within that time and all that. Just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think, it's accepting that's okay. It's all right to do that. If you want to spend the day in bed and you don't have to get up and do anything, if you haven't got animals or anything else going on,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
do that. But I wouldn't do it every day because I think
No,
then you
you
could get
couldn't do it
yourself
every
into a
day.
trap. But
Yeah.
yeah, but doing it once in a while, why not? Spend the day meditating if doing the inner work, because even
That's
that's important. To rest is
very
important.
important to rest. And I also found what I'm finding is that I've been hearing to go inward. I've been hearing take your time and go inward,
Mm, mm,
and there's things to be heard and there's things to be done and there's realizations to come to in going inward and go inward
yeah,
and do that. Because I think ultimately, this is it. It's all that inner work we're going to do is the thing that's going to
yeah,
help us navigate further.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. I've
Mm.
just before we came on together, actually, I thought I just got the urge to do this energy exercise
Yeah.
to really open up the heart chakra and do a video on it so I can put it up on my YouTube. And it's been sitting with me for about 3 days. And I thought, I've got to do it before I forget. So I did it earlier. And it's literally about going within your own heart chakra and going down as if you were going into a portal. And it was, I could really feel it. And I've sort of said to people on the video, I haven't put it up yet, so it's not up yet, but it will be. I'm going to put it up tonight. I said to people on the video, I just really felt it's really important. This is why I had to get it out now. It's really important, if you can, to do it every day to the lead up to this solar eclipse.
Yeah.
Because it's really opening up the heart chakra and expanding the heart energy out.
Yeah.
But going in and opening new doorways to new higher levels of being,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just I'm going to put it up tonight if anyone's interested in going and having a look.
That's good. Sorry, I don't mean to be distracted, but I see that somebody's talking to us on on chat, on live chat.
Oh, cool.
That's good. And we're gonna say a shout out anyway to the person.
Lovely.
It's nice, and welcome, Jason Curling.
Yes.
You know Jason Curling? Maybe he's one of your people. He says it's funny. It's funny becoming a kid when you're a senior citizen.
Good on you.
Having fun and blowing bubbles.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yes.
It doesn't matter what age you are, just have fun. I think it's really important.
It's about time we did it anyway. We've been too serious for far too long. That Saturn energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Structure and behave yourself. Yeah. So Ginny, yes, we're looking forward to your video that you're going to put later on, that you just mentioned now. And be nice to go have that experience. I'm going to look out for it. Ginny, tell us where people can get a hold of you, because I'm thinking we might want to be saying goodnight, seeing it's time. I'm sure you haven't had dinner yet or anything like that.
No, I haven't yet.
Me too. The other thing is, that's the other thing that's happening. I'm not feeling hungry anymore.
Yeah, I'm going through different stages. Like, I seem to be able to go quite a long time during the day, but then I get a bit peckish at night. So
last night I was having my dinner at 10:30. And the only reason and it was a cheese toasty, but the only reason I had it was I didn't want to wake up at 1 a.m. in the morning and think, I'm so hungry, so I just thought, okay, I'm just going to have that. But again, the energy is changing, because for the last 2 months or so, I've been hungry a lot, and I need to eat, and all of that, and a terrible sugar craving. And I say terrible.
I had that last night.
Yeah, the sugar's really good, but I mean, it is terrible to be eating too much sugar. Not good to be eating so much sugar.
Yeah. Well, me and John have been actually on a hardly any sugar for months now.
Yeah.
But last night I did have a sugar craving. But I'm ruled by the moon, so I'm putting it down to the planets doing their thing at the moment.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
I don't know whether you've had this, just going back to food. I love food, as you can probably tell by my
No, I didn't. I wouldn't be saying that, but I think you love life, and anybody who loves life loves food, is what I think.
I do. I love life too. Yeah. But I normally, I get to sort of evening meal, and I normally really fancy eating something. Like I might want, I don't know, pasta, or I might want something else. I have lost that.
Okay.
I actually go and I think, well, I know I should eat something. What should I eat? It's like that feeling like what I want to eat is gone.
Yeah.
But I know I should eat something,
That's right. Oh, yeah. I've been going through that for a while too. And then I go through phases, and I've just come through the phase of I need to eat salad, raw salad, and I want something sweet, because I just need to, I just crave the sugar, right? And marshmallowy, like that kind of texture. And this eating the raw salad, I mean, it's great to eat raw salad.
I love salad.
Yeah, but then I put mayonnaise in it, and this is not my thing.
Me too.
It's like I don't eat mayonnaise really often, but I think it's all right. We're eating vegetables, and I think ultimately at the end of the day, go with how you're feeling. What is your gut feeling? Because your body tells you what you need, right? Even if sugar is not such a good thing, but
Yeah.
If you need sugar, then you
Yeah.
need sugar, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I totally agree.
We are going through the transformation and the transition to that ascension process. So
We are.
be kind and easy with yourselves, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Allow yourselves to, in moderation, to
Yeah.
have whatever you need. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ginny, before we go, as I was starting to say, and then I digressed, tell us where people can get a hold of you
Oh,
to
yes. Yeah.
access your energy work and anything you're doing, you know, because you've got your social media, you've got a YouTube channel as well. So please tell us about that.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I've got my YouTube channel, which is Virginia Jones. I have got LinkedIn, which
Yes.
is also Virginia Jones and Ginny Jones. I've got Facebook, I've got Instagram. So on Instagram, I'm Ginny Intuitive Services. On Facebook, I'm Ginny Jones, and on my other one, I think I'm Virginia Jones and Ginny Jones on it as well.
Yeah.
Coming up, I'm being really drawn to do something actually on the 8th, which is next
Okay.
2 weeks on a Monday.
Mhm.
Yeah. For the solar eclipse. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but
Okay.
I'm going to be doing something.
Okay.
I also feel, because I do a monthly online group healing, I'm feeling the urge to do one of them, especially at the moment, because
Okay.
it's going to help people.
Okay.
So I've got one of those coming up. I haven't got a date for it yet, but if anyone is interested, they can email me. My email is ginnyspiritualart@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Please email me if you want any of my services. And I'm going to, because my son's coming over next week, so I'm not doing anything next week. But after that, I'm actually going to do a day retreat here.
Okay.
And it's going to be from probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're going to be doing breath work, healings, and stay for dinner, and then a sky watch, and then everyone go home. So it's not staying the night. So
Okay.
it's, if
So
people
day
want to
retreat.
stay locally, there's Airbnbs and all that around. Yeah, so I'm going to do a day retreat. I haven't
Okay.
sussed out the nitty-gritty of the mechanics of it yet.
Wonderful.
But if people are interested, please contact me.
Yeah, and we'll put your information in the description box once we
Thank
have signed out, and we usually do. So, you know, everybody,
Yeah.
if you want to contact
Thank you.
Ginny, then you'll find her information there. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It's so
you.
lovely to connect with you.
It's awesome to have you on here, and thank you so much for the work you do with us here, as in, like, you know, you come and chat with us and you give your time. I'm eternally grateful to you for that.
Thank you. Thank
Great.
you too. And thank you for that lovely gift that arrived, which was a lovely surprise.
Ginny. Not supposed to mention that. It's the least I could do, and I was so, I'll just say it. I know that we'll lie, but I'll just say, oh, let's talk about the gift afterwards. Let's do that after we say goodbye. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It was only
All
my
right,
pleasure,
yeah.
by the way. Anyway, thank you, everyone.
you.
Thank you for watching us
Thank
here
you,
on the
thank
Great
you.
Awakening Generator. Sorry, Jenny, I interrupted.
That's all good. It's all
Okay,
good.
great.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone. Catch you next time.
Bye.